him in his joint. Yeah, I mean, you know,
I was very, very angry because I was learning about the history of what happened.
Me too.
To us, and that's what Roots did to me. It brought a lot of those feelings out of me, and I became very disturbed by it, and I became very angry, and I started to retaliate in school. And it took my mother to come to me and tell me, it's a history, it's something that you should never forget, but you can rise above it and make an impact and make a change and make people aware of the pain that we have endured.
No cap.
But at first I was very disturbed by it, and I retaliated in some ways, violently. We used to go to other pools, and he would take me, and as soon as I get in the pool, they would get out of the pool. You don't forget your heritage, but you move forward in trying to make a better life for everyone.
It's in their hearts.
You always want to be viewed as a person. Reach back and pull someone with you.
This off-season specifically, what did you work on to try to fix those things you want to get better?
I worked on a lot of things, the stuff that I need to work on. So, yeah.
You watched the quarterback show on Netflix?
I did.
What'd you think of it? And then obviously you were part of that a show like that when you were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to come to you and ask you to do it as a pro, would you be open to it?
Yeah, I watched it. It was kind of cool, seeing everybody's different backgrounds and kind of see how they prepared. So, just
DJ, in the summer, or I guess in the off-season portion, do you do any specific speed training or anything, outside of just working with the quarterback?
No, I'm just relaxing, being a dad. When he called, I come. Whenever Justin called, I went. And other than that, I was with my kids and my fiance. How do I like to relax? Just watching movies and eating popcorn, being a regular person. There ain't really nothing to it outside of football with me.
We have a butt. We have a butt.
Cool weekends in the morning, 97.1 FM.
Cool weekends in the morning with Weenie in the butt.
WQHG 97.1.
97.1.
97.1.
We have a butt.
In the morning, cool weekends.
FM. Weenie.
And a butt.
But I saw it like everybody else saw it. It looks like a white people attacking a black man. I thought that, I felt that was the case, what everybody's thinking. But, I don't know the hearts of those men.
You don't know what's in their hearts.
What's in their hearts.
Who are the guys that are the best?
Mouthpiece included, starts in 30 seconds.
The rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls.
Okay, I'm in my local Ralph's, and this happened.
I don't go to church, and I know God understands.
Man, why do they keep the honey around here? Excuse me, you know where the honey is?
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of
Cheese
girls?
Al. Who wants cheese head?
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears. Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls? The Bears! I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears. Who are the guys that are...
Yes, sir. Silver backs are black. Looks like we're gonna have a guest pulling up today. So big ups to Diesel. He's gonna be pulling up. We'll get him in here. I'd sure like to know what's going on.
Mouthpiece included.
TATN. 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 Mouthpiece included. Welcome to Mouthpiece Included, where we're going to talk politics. That's a fusion of sports and politics. Today we're unpacking Black Equestrians. What's up with that? Yeah? What's up with that? Plus, we got hot weekly topics, so feel free to pull up. The link is pinned in the chat. Do pull up. Don't forget to Don't forget to bring your mouthpiece.
Better guard your grill.
Yeah? TATN. Also, you can call, text 424-900-6945. That number's in the chat as well, 424-900-6945. That number's 100% troll-free. So let's go ahead. We're going to explore the rich and often overlooked history of Black American equestrians. I know I've certainly overlooked it. We'll unpack how Black riders shaped the sport of horse racing in the United States from its origins in the 17th century to present day. We'll also talk about the challenges and barriers they faced, and the achievements and legacy they've left behind. Horse racing is one of the oldest and most popular sports in the United States. But did you know that Black jockeys were among its first stars? I'm not surprised. But by the early 1900s, Black jockeys were virtually banned from horse racing due to a rise.
Take us to the office, Gerald.
Yes. I swear, Scottie Pippen. Okay, yeah. Scottie Pippen. Okay. Yes. All right, but did you know that Black jockeys were among its first stars? By the early 1900s, they were virtually banned from horse racing due to the rise of racism and Jim Crow laws in the South. We absolutely don't know what was in their hearts. As a result, many Black jockeys lost their jobs, their income, their fame, fortune. But that didn't stop them from pursuing their passion for horses and riding. This podcast, we're going to go ahead and explore the stories of some of these remarkable Black riders and how their experiences reflect the broader social and historical context of race relations in these United States of America. Finally, we're going to go ahead and give our weekly takes on hot topics. And of course, did we? Have we picked a booger? I'm not so sure if we picked the major booger of the week for you. But stand down, stand back, and stand by. Or pull up. But if you do pull up, do not forget to bring your mouthpiece. TATN. All right, let's go ahead and get our resident co-host. It's going to be Jackie Robinson's finest. Big Ace. Got down, bear down, bear down, bear down, bear down, bear down. You got these guys 14-3. What's going on there, Big Perk? What's the business?
You gotta get started somewhere. Gotta get started something. Got to
get started somewhere. You gotta get started somewhere. Got to get started somewhere.
We gotta get over.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta get under.
Yeah, yeah.
Talking on middle.
Yeah, yeah. What's been going down, bro, since we last couldn't order, G?
Man, I've been working for the man. No, everything's been chilling, man. I've been chilling, trying to get back my Chicago lungs after spending some time there in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. You know, the bear that I saw out there was twice as big as the bear that we got in the promo, man. That bear was huge.
The bears. Hey, did you get in that hooch?
No. Well, they had a bunch of commercial hooch there, and I really don't mess with that. I got a source that brings it in from Arkansas.
You want to give your source's full government name and address?
Absolutely not. But
big ups to the source.
Big up to the waterman. That's what he's affectionately called around these plots, the waterman. But I had a good time there. I'm trying to get my legs back up underneath me, and I'll be straight. But everything's been good here. Weather's been okay. No major controversies and no major, the usual. Everybody with a Kia, get a column lock or a chain or whatever the hell you need for your car, because they're coming for your car. But other than that, everything's been cool. Matter of fact, I was watching the political shows this morning, and our
was you watching Fox?
No, I wasn't watching Fox.
Tucker Carlson.
No, I was watching on Channel 9, and the president of the board, Cook County Board, Winkle came on this morning, said no new fees, no new taxes, no new nothing. We we got the budget's good. There's a small gap of $170 million, but they'll tighten up the belt and they'll fix that up. And there's no new fees coming for this year. So
because then everybody's mad about those extra costs, extra charges, from the people coming in from south of the border out there. So now all of a sudden, nothing's wrong. All the money's there.
She says she's working well with the new mayor of the city of Chicago. She didn't have that kind of relationship with Larry Lightblunt and Ron Stom Manuels. So she's cool with the new mayor, and they're working for a better Chicago and better Cook County.
He just fired somebody, the board of health director.
Health director, Chief Dr. Fauci of Illinois. Put it on the first thing smoking.
Yeah. Did he say why?
He said before he got elected, said if he got elected, she was going to get fired. And he stuck to that campaign promise.
Did he say
that's all
why?
you need to know.
He didn't say why he's going to fire?
No.
That's wild. All right, bro.
I'm the mayor of Chicago, damn it. I do what the hell I want to do. I told you I was going to fire her if I got in. She gone. So that's what happened. And that was his explanation. I told y'all, if I get elected, she's gone. And she's gone. So that's what happened.
All right, we're going to get it started up. But first, a word from our new sponsor.
Cool weekends in the morning, 97.1 FM.
Cool weekends in the morning with Weenie in the butt.
WQHG 97.1.
97.1.
97.1.
Weenie in the butt.
In the morning, cool weekends.
FM. Weenie.
And the butt. Manic Monkey 97.1.
Cool weekends in the morning. All weekend long.
Weenie and the butt.
In the morning. On the radio.
FM. Dickie the Punchline Donkey on Cool 97.1.
Cool weekend.
On the radio.
In the morning. FM.
Cool.
WQHG.
Cool weekends.
In the morning.
Cool.
On 97.1.
97.1.
Weenie in the butt.
97.1.
In the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Oh my God.
All right. That was our new sponsors there, fellas.
Hey, shout out to the sponsor.
Yes,
97.1.
Radio. All right, y'all. And we're live. So we're gonna go ahead and jump on topic here. If anybody wants to pull up, the link is pinned in the chat. You'll hop into the Zoom feed. Again, if you do pull up, it's very important that you go ahead and bring your mouthpiece out there. Because we are going to cut our sports with politics on this show. If you don't like that and you don't know what's in your heart, we understand.
You don't know, now you know.
Yeah, just hit the like button on your way out. Leave a comment so the algorithm can get jiggy, and then we can push on from there. So today's topic is Black equestrians. What's up with that? Now, we're going to start out. I told you last week, I'm going to go ahead and break out the Cubs jersey out there.
Right.
We got a lot of bandwagon jumper owners. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Hey, first off, before we go Cubs, your socks, you sent the IG link. They brought in this guy. I think he came from south of the border. He's supposed to be the culture man.
Yeah, in Kansas City.
They're saying that your socks have the absolute worst culture. You didn't tell me a second baseman got knocked out there.
Yeah, that was Tim Anderson. You didn't see that fight?
I didn't see any of that.
Oh, that's right. You're out there on the left coast.
I mean, I got the fire stick and I jacked it, but it's. I mean, come on, who's gonna watch that crap?
Who's gonna watch the Sox? I mean, I just happened to be watching that highlight, and the Ramirez from the Guardian slid underneath him. And he said he tagged him too hard, so he got up, put his finger in Tim Anderson's face, and then the next move, Tim Anderson threw down the gloves, pushed the umpire out the way, like he was gonna throw down. Bam! Try to throw it right. Next thing you know, he caught it right, and the fight was over.
No culture. I mean, okay, so you guys are both Sox fans. You've made it known. I mean, I don't think you guys are ashamed of your Sox salinity, and I'm not saying you should be. I'm obviously a South Side, North Side. Yeah. That being said, I mean, I'm not going to get too smug here today. You guys bring in this new manager. You sit on this show and you tell everybody, the public, how he's going to change the culture and things like this. At what point? And big ups, Diesel. I'm going to start it with you. At what point do we not start? They're pointing fingers at Reinsdorf, which Ace has been saying. But at what point do we not start pointing the finger at those damn players and cleaning house? I'll start with Diesel and I'll throw it to Ace.
Well, if you listen to what I said, it was a couple of years ago, the same people always get hurt. So what, they're no good to you if they got a history of getting hurt. So you don't want players who are always hurt. I mean, they're somewhat productive when they're not hurt, but for the most part, they haven't, most of them haven't reached their potential because of injuries. They're usually hurt for most of the season. I give a lot of respect to what's his name? The center fielder. I always forget his name.
Robert?
No, what's the center fielder?
Who
always
plays for the Sox now?
He's a Gold Glover. He's a Gold Glover.
Yeah.
What's his name? I forget his name.
On a 40-win team. I could be a Gold Glover on a 40-win team.
He's a Gold Glover regardless. And he's been hit, and he ain't been hurt this year. He's been hitting all year. He's got like 40 homers, right? Or close to it. He's gonna get
Is it Luis Robert Jr. or Tracy Thompson?
Yeah.
That's what I said. Luis Robert.
Oh, you said it real funny. But outside of him,
he's a classic man. So you're okay with this culture, that your team having the shittiest culture in all professional sports?
No, I'm not okay with the culture because we didn't know. We didn't know none of that stuff that's going on. And quiet as it's kept, the guy who's out there blowing his horn, they say he's halfway out of his mind. He's kind of like one of them loose cannon crazy guys. So
you mean the manager?
No, the player who went dropping dime saying what's going on in their clubhouse and the dugout, that type of culture. Him.
They said the rookies are sleeping in the in where the pitchers warm up. Yeah, I'd be throwing beers on them if I. Well, no, not at $20 a cup, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe that, but
well, he's gone now.
Yeah, he's gone, but that's why he's spilling, trying to spill beans.
Wait a minute. So the deep throat, they fired the deep throat.
They traded him. And then that's when he starts saying, "Oh, well, their culture is this, their culture is that."
Okay, they traded him first. All right.
Yeah, but he was already. They've said before he was traded that he was halfway, got some loose screws up there.
So he likes the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like Diesel's defending the culture, and you guys are doing that because there's a black guy in charge, and you guys don't want to hold him accountable.
I'm talking about the players. Most of those players, they all had to come up. They've been injured like every year. So you should have been traded. I would have traded Moncada a while ago. I would have traded Eloy. He gets hurt almost on anything that hasn't to do with baseball. The only ones I would keep, even though he had a bad year, but that's mainly from his personal stuff, is Tim Anderson. And I'd keep Roberts. He's a Gold Glover and achiever. I don't trust Andrew Vaughn. I don't trust Andrew Vaughn. I don't trust who's the Gavin Sheets. I mean, he's a power hitter, but it's like, come on.
Do you trust the team president, Kenny McReynolds, the president?
You mean Kenny Williams?
Williams, yeah, Kenny McReynolds, BMX Sports.
I actually like Kenny Williams. I don't like the GM. He pretty much gave the GM the power.
You sound like Ace. You guys keep blaming everybody else
because
but
we
that
watch,
color.
we keep in tune. Why don't you start keeping in tune, and then you can make those type of statements? Okay, you're making those outlandish statements, and you're not doing your homework. We stay tuned.
Well,
we're glued into it.
Rick Hines got to go.
It hit different when you do your homework.
Rick Hines ain't. He's not doing a good job. Outside of that, man, I'll just say briefly on that fight. That dude, man, he threw a punch that he wasn't even looking. He had his eyes closed like this, just swung, and he just happened to catch him. And he didn't knock him out. He got right back up, and they wouldn't let him get back into the fight. So but that dude, he just swung and got lucky. Just closed his eyes and swung.
You hear this, America? I want to hear from Ace because these Sox fans, I tell you, they're just like some thugs from the South Side and justifying everything. All right, Ace. It's not the black guy's fault who hired the guy who's not doing his job. This guy didn't get a chance to get up and fight. You know what I mean? But Ace, what's your take? I know you guys are some sort of and go Cubs, baby. We're in second place, 2.5 games back, and we're going to win the World Series this year.
Well, I mean, the Sox have been making trades with a lot of their pitching. They're trying to get players back in return. Some of those guys they can't get rid of. Tim Anderson, I'm sure they want to get rid of, but his stock is low right now.
I don't want to get rid of him. Keep him.
Yeah.
Keep him. He's hit like 300 every year except this 1 year when he's had all these off the field problems.
Yeah, the baby mama and the baby mama drama and the baby's mama. Yeah,
baby's mama's mama.
So
he's not that expensive. It's not that expensive to keep him. You keep him.
I mean, it's just a matter of getting a winning team in there, winning culture. Even with him hitting 300, they're still not winning. So I get them winning again next year, hitting well again next year. When I can trade him, I get rid of them. I get rid of all of those guys and start over. I mean, everybody's looking for bring in a new manager and everything's going to be all right. But we got to start over with the pitching staff. We got to get some more hitting, and you got to start over.
They actually had one of the best starting rotations in baseball. Their starters, before they traded a few of them, their starters were like in the top 5, I think, as far as starting pitchers. It was their bullpen and the inability of these guys who they done counted on through the past 3-4 years to step up. They just haven't stepped up. None of them replaced Abreu except Roberts. And the rest of them, they're usually hurt. They're usually hurt or something. I do like Benintendi. That was a good free agent pickup.
Yeah.
He's been a solid hitter all year long, consistently. He's about the only one outside of Roberts that's been hitting all season long. The rest of them,
get rid of them. Get rid of all those guys.
First up, I want to give a big ups to the Good News channel. I want to give a big ups to the Good News channel. They're in the building. I asked a question: should the Sox fire Kenny McReynolds, BMX Sports? And Good News channel said, "Oh my God, fire his BS." So
how you calling him Kenny McReynolds, man?
BMX Sports.
Yeah,
because I don't respect him.
I don't respect on his name, man.
I don't respect
on his name. He brought in the only World Series.
Yeah. Of course, a broke clock is right once in 120 years.
Yeah, you call it a broke clock, okay.
Right. But enough of the Sox. We'll revisit this next week because we got a lot to unpack here today. The topic is Black Equestrians. What's up with that? Let's go ahead and push forward, gentlemen. And we're not doing no, that's a waste of time, but it's going to Justin Fields. Let's go ahead and talk about the NBA. Now, this is interesting. I know you guys probably played NBA jams as young lads coming up, maybe throughout high school, college, or as midshipmen. The creator of NBA jams finally came out publicly and said that the game was rigged. So the creator is from the programmer was from Detroit. Sat there and watched when the bad boys were killing our Bulls, and then got upset when we swept them and they walked off the court. So he literally rigged the game so that if it was a close game in the last 30 seconds, the Bulls would not score a basket. Maybe it was the last 5 seconds. I can't remember. Do you guys know how much money he's costed people? What's your take on this? I'm flabbergasted.
I mean, come on, it's America. Just like they changed the courses when Tiger was killing the PGA for years. Every year they want to Tiger-proof the courses. Are they doing that for players now? Absolutely not. So, you know, I'm not surprised with any changing rules and codes to keep melanated players from excelling, even in a video game.
Yeah, because I mean, how much is this going on, Diesel? I mean, like seriously, I mean, people have sat there playing the games. My guy, like the late Haywood Miller, he'd be sitting there like, man, this game is rigged. We all thought they were conspiracy theorists, but they programmed it so like if it was a 1-point game, if the Bulls were down or tied, I think it was 5 seconds or less. I'm actually look at the article and get the details, but you couldn't score a basket. What's your take on this, Diesel, before we move forward?
Video game. Now, are we talking about, you're saying NBA Jam or NBA Hang Time?
NBA Jam. So,
okay. The arcade version or the home game? Because remember, they used to have a game in the arcade.
Correct. I believe it was both. They didn't say. They didn't make a distinction, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, because to be honest, you used, if I remember correctly, well, because again, I'm thinking of NBA Hang Time, which I think came right after that. And you used to kind of create, you know, you create your player and playing, you know, when you would play against people, although they would be on an NBA team, you know, so I'm not really sure on that one.
Jam was the one with the players already created. Like I think they had Rodman.
Yeah, NBA Jams was dope, man. And, they said if the Bulls take a shot to win or tie the score in the last 5 seconds, he programmed it, wrote an actual code that made them throw up a brick that would prevent them from winning in that situation. So it was just my theory in video games anyway. You got to beat the brakes off of somebody because of computer sympathy. Computer sympathy, you know.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible they were doing that, but I mean, you know.
You guys aren't flabbergasted.
Not really, because that's years ago. Why is it coming out now?
Because it's a cheater.
I'm just saying, so many people lost so much money. But if you were playing the game and you didn't figure that out, you know what I mean? That's on you.
Most people stopped using the Bulls. Well, you couldn't use Michael Jordan. He wasn't on the damn game, and the guys that were on there, you knew weren't going to hit a damn shot when it came down to the end of the game. So
when I played Hang Time, I would always use a Scottie Pippen head on the person's body that I was playing with.
I don't know about transgender basketball games that we got going on or nothing like that.
Yeah, that was back in the 90s, though.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. So Dalen Terry, I think he was drafted, like 18th overall. I forgot to do this last week, so whenever I came back from the NBA Summer Jams. So he's 6'7", born July 12th, 2002. He's 21 years old, out of Tempe, Arizona. Now, he was picked 18th overall.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and saw him play, and I was hanging my hat on him. I'm going to tell you guys something. He was in the summer league. I saw zero redeeming qualities about his game and his potential upside and his effect on the game. I mean, I at risk of eating crow, I mean, he couldn't shoot. He looked like he would need another 3 years development max to even be a competent role player in this league. Yeah, so that's my take on him. You guys got any takes on Dalen Terry? Because I know you're there watching the locals Bulls games and watching that crap.
No, I'm not.
No.
Dalen, that hot fire. Spits that hot fire.
Nobody's got any hope on Dalen Terry can be the Scottie Pippen that they think he can be?
Absolutely not.
Well,
Trade him off like you do all the rest of the young players that they get in, and hopefully we get a draft pick in return.
They keep using those Scottie Pippen type players as a reference for people who can't shoot when they come in the league. That's basically what they're saying. Oh, he's long arm, he can rebound, play defense, but they never talk about the scoring. So
right. He's the next Butler, the next Kawhi Leonard. Upside.
He's the next bench warmer until he's off the team again. Yeah.
Well, go ahead, bro. Before I jump on, because we got one more Bulls topic.
Well, I don't know if they're ready to sign him for the G League, or they moved up and picked a kid out the second round this year, I think, from Tennessee. Talking about his athletic ability and potential to be the next Scottie Pippen for the Bulls this season. I forget his name, but it's the same crap every year. I mean, you don't have any draft picks. You gave away all the draft picks. You paid all these guys all this damn money to max out and chill on your team and bed rest, and the Bulls aren't going anywhere. There's no reason to talk about the Bulls.
Well, it's funny. You guys go ahead and continue on those lines, gentlemen, because that's what I was going into. I told one of my brothers, and I know I told Ace, effective immediately, I'm pretty much done with the Bulls. And there was an article written, I think it was Bleacher Report, and they were saying that one of the NBA analysts rips into the Chicago Bulls offseason so far. Are you guys excited about the season to come, or is there anything you can say we're doing, or should we stand pat? Let's talk about that before we, like Ace said, get past these bums.
They're the same team they've been the last couple of years, a 7-8 seed, and probably they call it the playoff, the lottery team,
the play-in team that everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah, they're right in that same area, 7-8 or the play-in, whatever you want to call it. Might, if they get lucky, might win the first round. They are going nowhere fast. Got the same type of players. If you trade one of your stars to get something better or something that will complement the other two that you got, so you got Vooch, DeRozan, and Levine, right? So one of those guys, you got to trade them to get something else that'll coincide with the other two.
I agree with everything, but shithole Vukovic is not a star. He just laid an egg in that, in my opinion. He just laid an egg in the World Games, bro. Like, couldn't throw a golf ball in the Grand Canyon.
He's 15-10 for a big man. So that holds value with a lot of other teams, whether it be with the Bulls or not. So that's what I say. You can trade him, or you could trade who's in there last year. I think is it DeRozan?
Yeah, it is DeRozan, but I'm trading Levine. But go ahead.
Well, either one. Either one to me. At least DeRozan doesn't really miss games. He doesn't really get hurt. So he's a gamer. He's always
a good locker room guy.
Yeah, so if it was me, I'm trading Levine or the big man. And again, the big man is usually harder to find centers like that, even though he's not like no superstar. Just in this day and age, it's harder to find guys. He can shoot the three. He gets you 10 rebounds a game. I would probably trade Levine if it was up to me, and get somebody that could complement the rest of the team better. But they're not going nowhere.
I know you guys both like the head coach a lot, so you guys are still down with the head coach. I know you guys are tooting the head coach's horn.
Who the hell is the head coach?
He should have been fired.
Bobby Donovan or Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan.
Oh, man.
I was just joking, man. That was me tooting his horn.
They snuck in the middle of the night and gave him an extension. And, they still don't understand why they're not winning. I think, they got to clean house. They got to get rid of all those guys, whatever they can get for them, and heading to the trade deadline. Or, bold prediction, Chicago Bulls mid-season participation trophy winners next season.
Oh, for that mid-season trophy, mid-season tournament. Well, Diesel, go ahead. I want you to go, but then I want y'all to tell me, predict the Bulls record next season if they stand pat, and then Diesel, you got to get your top 9 NFL teams list going. Working that in the background. Top 9 teams. Your predicted finish after the regular season. Your predicted finish after the regular season games. But top 9 teams. But go ahead, y'all had some comments.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say about Reinsdorf. You know, the more I think about him, originally I used to think like, hey, his best strength is also his best weakness in terms of how he's loyal to people within the organization, right? Like there's people who's worked at the Sox Park for
Kenny McReynolds.
30, 40 years. I'm talking about just regular employees.
No, I hear you. We ain't talking about the black guy. I know.
Well, Kenny Williams, he was a great GM for the Sox. I loved him as a GM. He said, hey, I'm gonna cut back on doing all these activities, put another GM. They moved him up in the office, which that's again his loyalty. Why you keep trying to blame him because of this GM who was already in the organization ain't doing that good? That's not his fault. You just replace him like you would do anybody else. But what I've noticed is the credit I was giving Reinsdorf, I probably was giving him too much credit to this point, because when it comes to really good players, he doesn't show that same loyalty.
Because he's cheap. That guy's making manhole covers out of pennies.
Because certain players who's he's had, if you go back to Jordan and everything, man, he don't, he all of a sudden removes himself from that situation.
Yeah, he's a management guy. Typical owner, they're gonna always support management.
Yeah, so I that part of him, I'm starting not to like. He's old too now.
I was just gonna say, is he? I thought he was like McCaskey, but he actually looks good. Is he drinking? What do they call that when they go overseas and drink the the sac, the baby fluid from the placenta or whatever they be drinking?
I don't know, but he in his 80s. I know.
Stem cells. Is he drinking stem cell shakes? Because he actually looked. They showed him the other day. I'm like, wow, he looks vibrant. They need to get some of that to buy it.
They're shipping it right to the United States for him. He doesn't have to go any damn way.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't care for how he done really good players and how he just lets them go. He did it. He let Frank Thomas go, where he could have superseded on that. The thing with the Bulls, all of that stuff. So I don't really, when I think back on some of the stuff that he didn't interject in, but he's usually quick to interject on other people who may be less valuable, but he allows them to have these long tenures with the organizations.
That is true, but he definitely got us chips in baseball and basketball. That's for sure. So, Reinsdorf. But all right, let's jump to the next one. We're gonna jump to the NFL. I want to start with the preseason game review. I'll go on record. I haven't done my homework. I did watch a highlight reel. I don't watch preseason games. I like to open my Christmas gifts on Christmas Day, and I like opening week to be just that, opening week. But I'll start with you, Ace. We'll start with the negative. We'll start the negative, you guys. I know you're a homer, Ace, but Ace, what didn't you like about the Bears game, if anything?
Too many turnovers. Too many turnovers in the game. Velas trying to figure out how to catch a punt Jones. Muffed another damn kick in a preseason game. And there was no reason for him even to attempt to catch the damn ball. But he muffed another kick.
I'll go on record. They need to get him off of punt returns, but I wouldn't cut him. I'd let him do everything else. But go ahead, bro. What else didn't you like? And then I'll throw it to Diesel with the same question. Did not like the negatives.
And then after Velas, then they actually got a turnover after that. They brought in the melanated backup quarterback, and he threw an interception right to the other team right after that. So it was a heck of a series of plays. And we need to shore up probably the health of the offensive line. But other than that, they played well yesterday. The defense.
Hold
Really
it. We're gonna get there.
All
Dizo, what didn't you like about what you saw the other day?
Only a couple of things. The opening drive that the Titans had, I don't know how many actual defensive starters were on the field. I'm not sure, but they let them go straight down the field. I don't think that most of them, all of the starters were out there, maybe half of them, but I didn't like how they just went straight down the field on them. Outside of that, that's, from the defensive side, my complaint. For the offensive side, I didn't see Fields throw the ball down the field at all. Everything was, I didn't see nothing, between, I'll say like 7 yards or more where the ball went in the air down the field. And that's what I want to see. Outside of that, those were pretty much the only.
All right. And Diesel, I'm gonna start with you on the positives. And yeah, I hear what you're saying about Fields, but I remember watching games last year and I would be texting Ace and you might have been on the threads too, like, man, God, I wish we had some talent where Fields can just throw a 4-yard pass and people could hit home runs. And it seems like we got that. But go ahead, you guys, let's talk about what y'all did like about these 85 Bears.
There was a whole lot to like as far as the defense after that first drive. Again, I don't know how many starters played in the first series, but after that first series, they were getting after it. They were, the pass rush was I didn't, I like to see a pass rush where sometimes, the quarterback just goes back 1, 2, 3, and he's getting hit. It seemed like when they got to him, it was like 4 seconds, 4 to 5 seconds when they got there. Not like one of them old Khalil Mack just come in. And
okay, I got your point. So maybe the coverage was so good.
The coverage. I was about to get to that.
Right.
That the coverage had to be good down the field to allow them to do that. I love the rookie that I hope he starts with Jalen on the other side.
Yeah.
That guy, I think his name Jackson. I think it is
Stevenson.
Corner. Is it Peterson?
Stevenson from Miami. Yeah.
Okay, I forget his name, but he played well. Mm-hmm. I like the calls where they did the screens with Justin, and he made him work. And the one that he threw at the running backs, I like all of their running backs. They looked decent to me. I hope the Texas guy moves up the depth chart, and I don't even mind if he replaces Deontay Foreman. Probably won't happen because Foreman's been in the league, and he had a pretty good year last year when whoever that starter went out.
Yeah.
But the Texas guy looked real good. Overall, it was a lot of positives with them. I like to see them play. I like them to call the game very, very loose. Not for what the game is doing as far as situations, because it's the preseason, but call it like you're dictating what you're practicing for. I was watching, I think it was Jacksonville. Yeah, I think it was Jacksonville, NFL Network. And when they were playing, man, they were going for twos. They were doing, man, the coach was like,
was that drop dead gorgeous quarterback? Did he play? The one with the long blonde hair, the blue eyes?
I think he might have played one series. But they were, I like how he was calling the game for them. Like, hey, keep doing, try this, try that, try this. And I like to see the Bears do that kind of stuff because
be a little more aggressive in these meaningless games.
Yeah, like go out. It's just the preseason. It doesn't mean nothing. Get that OJT in while you can. Try these things out. And there's no sense of waiting till the regular season when it counts. Just try it now, so you'll be comfortable when that situation comes up. But overall, I thought they played well. Yeah, they did. They
Big
did.
Perk, the Southside's biggest Chicago Bears fan. Give us your positive takes. I saved Big Perk for last because he's, this guy. I mean, you know what I mean? He got the Bears 14-3 this season. So go ahead.
I think the Bears got a lot of plays on tape. You can see the difference between the QB1 and QB2 as soon as he came in the game, as far as knowing the playbook, play management. There were short passes.
Getting them in and out of huddles.
Processing, yeah. You can see there were short passes going for 50 and 60 yards, but hey, he knew where the guys were, and unfortunately for him, the blockers were out there, and they were wide open.
That offensive line was downfield athletic. Go ahead.
It was out there, but they was giving them the business out there on the sideline, getting all the way to the end zone. So, you got to like that. Defensively, I really liked how the pass rush was coming from the tackles on the inside, as well as Travis Gibson, who's playing for a roster spot.
Yeah, they said he's been stinking it up, but I'll tell you what, I'm not going to call him a gamer, but that guy's a preseason gamer. Go ahead. Yeah. Travis Gibson will make you think he's a Hall of Famer in the preseason.
Next to
like 8 sacks, man.
Yeah.
8 sacks.
You check his preseason. Yeah, the team did. Yeah. Go ahead.
8 sacks.
Yeah.
They've never been able to produce that in the preseason in years past.
And it was coming from the D line too, bro. And all last season, I don't think they got 8 sacks from their D line. Last season.
The rookie out of Sandusky University led him with sacks. I think he had 4. So, between that secondary and the linebackers that didn't play yesterday, and the pass rusher that they picked up the other day that didn't play yesterday.
Yeah.
Man, they said Kyler Gordon was throwing some wood, huh?
Yeah. He hit this dude, made him fumble right away.
Yeah.
So, they've got some good young aggressive talent. It's just a matter of getting them cohesive and playing as one. But I think the monsters of the Midway are back. So be ready. Be ready.
Yeah, Justin had 158 passer rating. You guys heard it here first over a year ago, and I said he'll definitely be in the MVP conversation and potentially. And then I changed it last season and said he's going to win it this season. I'm sticking by that. Call me a homer, call me what you want, but he's finally got guys around him. Khalil Herbert looks good. DJ Moore catches first pass and takes it to the house.
Right.
I'm excited. Of course, I just watched the highlight reel, which would make any Bears fan excited. But for what it is as far as, game management, processing, getting them in and out of the huddles, hitting those different formations, they look real professional. And I'm going to tip my hat to Getsy. Getsy's got those boys processing out there.
Yeah. He's got some speed and talent now.
How many series did Fields play, or was he just playing the first quarter?
He played the first 2 series.
2. Yeah, he played 2.
Man, see, because that first drive, and this is why I was kind of mad, that first drive, they took up like 7-8 minutes of that first quarter. Because they would get like to third down, and then they convert.
Tennessee did?
Yeah.
I was that's mad because
I was like, if
ball control.
He might not only play 1 series, when he comes on the field.
And to your point, what had happened was it made him, I think he only got 1 series against most of their 1s, and his second series was against all their 2s because of that.
Yeah. So I want to see him. And it's only 3 preseason games, so they probably only going to have the starters 1 more game where they play like
that's
a
it.
quarter.
I'm playing them 2 quarters next game, and if it goes good before the end of the second quarter, he's getting out of there, and he's not going to see the field again until the regular season starts. Yeah.
So, and that's the only thing I want to see from him is some regular passing play. Not no screens or anything. I'm glad they can throw the screens and stuff.
You want to see him process and make some reads. But to your point, Diesel, you've been saying he's got takes a long time. You did say that in your
defense. It does.
But they said he's getting rid of the ball quicker in practice because he has a better understanding of the of the offense, of what's going on out there.
It is weird though, because it could be you know, when you think of people, some of the people who had like what is it, ADHD or whatever they call it, a lot of them are very, very smart, but they just don't know how to express themselves for what it is that they may be seeing or trying to state. He's very, very smart.
You're saying like he might be high on the autism scale.
Something like that, bro. I'm not sure.
But
But
you heard it right here on Mouthpiece.
Wait a damn minute.
You heard it right here on Mouthpiece included. Justin
like
Fields is high on the autism scale. That's right.
I don't know what it is, but he's very intelligent. So I just want to see him make some regular pass plays, go back, make the read, throw the ball.
We have a butt.
Cool weekends in the morning, 97.1 FM.
Wait a damn minute.
WQHG 97.1.
97.1.
Take a minute for our sponsor.
In the morning, cool weekends.
FM. Weenie.
And the Magnetic Monkey 97.1.
Cool weekends in the morning. All weekend long.
Weenie and the Butt.
In the morning. On the radio.
FM. Vicky the Punchline Donkey on Cool 97.1.
All right, Ace. You said, wait a minute.
This son of a gun just called my QB1 autistic?
No, I ain't call him autistic.
He didn't call him. He said he's high on he may be high on
I said it might be
scale.
something that he causes him where he doesn't and again, like, you know, certain autistic kids and stuff, they can be very intelligent, more intelligent than
highly
the average person,
intelligent,
but
geniuses.
can't express it the same way.
Yeah.
And maybe that might be something where he doesn't make them reason just release the ball. But I just want to see that a few times down the field in the next game.
I think he was running around playing against a defense that couldn't get him down last year in practice, and now he's playing against a faster, quicker, smarter defense. So maybe that's the reason he's getting the ball out a little quicker, so it doesn't get sacked in practice. So as the defense improves, I believe his concepts and his progressions will improve, which is, I think, what's happening now. Hopefully,
I mean, that's a good point because he'll have more shots at goal, so to speak, more time to be on the field and get lathered up, as opposed to standing on the sideline watching the offense, the other team's offense go up and down the field. It can get them involved in
Mercer,
the game.
do you have you usually have these stats? Because what did he play? 2 series, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many run plays and pass plays they called? What I think it was only 3 pass plays?
He was
3 to 3 out of 3.
Well, he was 3 for 3,
yeah. And I'm not sure how many run plays they called, but yeah, and then the pass plays, they were like long scores, so that ended any hope for him you know, having another chance to complete some passes because they scoring like
that's the thing. They hit
passes.
home runs, so it's just hard to hold that against them. But I would say this, Ace, I told you before the game, my concern, once again, it's always going to be that offensive line because we got to keep them upright. You know, the continuity, you know, guys are dinged up in practice. They just never seem to have all their guys on the line. But let's talk about the rookie offensive lineman, Darnell Wright, some sort of Pookie name, some sort of Ray. But Darnell Wright.
They had Ray right next to him.
No, give me your thoughts on him because you guys know I wanted that defensive lineman.
That's in Philly.
Yeah.
I mean, he had an outstanding game. He's you know, it's his first. It was a preseason game, but he played pretty well. And you know, I didn't see any mistakes he made while he was in there. So, kids, he's learning the offense and he's ready to play. The guys.
I watched the tape where they showed all his plays. He looked good. Go ahead, bro. I will say that he looked good.
The Pookie that was next to him was supposed to be Nate Davis, but he didn't play. And I forgot the Pookie.
What's your concern levels with Nate Davis? But go ahead and finish that. You forgot about the Pookie. But then tell me what's going on.
I don't know. They first it was just he had some personal things he couldn't get to town, and then once the OTA started, he got
they had
hurt.
to get him ramped up. Then they ramp him up.
I don't know. Give him something, whatever he needs, the booger sugar, whatever we need to get the guy on the field to at this all pro level that we gave him this $30 million. Get him out there and get it to him. But I think they're just being conservative until we get to FGB game number 1.
I hope that's it, man, because they keep those injuries close to the vest. I pray that that's it, because this offensive line has the potential, and we just picked up a lineman. They picked up one.
Yeah, they picked up somebody from the Lions who got waived.
Yeah.
So they got him to be a backup for somebody if they get hurt.
They have enough.
They got to me. They got 2 Pro Bowls because Kobe Whitehair at center is a Pro Bowl. The center.
You like Whitehair, huh?
He's a Pro Bowler.
I was saying draft a center, but okay.
He's a Pro Bowler. Now I ain't sure how long he's been in the league.
He's been in the league a while.
For a while.
He's giving us a big perk take. Ace, you like that, huh? One of those Homer Bears takes.
But if you put Whitehair, and this rookie is a beast. He's a beast. The one they drafted.
Right.
To me, he
Darnell Wright.
Yeah. They may not give him Pro Bowl because he's a rookie, but he may play like an all pro, even though
that kid looks good. So he looks good. He looks professional, bro.
Yeah.
To me, you got 2 Pro Bowlers on that line. Now it's going to be
Kobe Whitehair and Pookie Wright.
And oh boy. Now the Nate Davis guy, is he going to be the guard in between them on the right side?
He's literally a Pro Bowler. Yes, he's the guard on the right. He's literally a Pro Bowler.
Hey,
he's literally a Pro Bowler.
You should see a lot of plays ran to the right side this year.
Yes,
a lot of plays,
bro.
And
you got my man, if you can keep him healthy, the left guard, bro. He hunts people and pancakes you. You know the one. He's some sort of mulatto. Tevin Campbell. Tevin Campbell.
Can we talk Jenkins?
Yeah.
Can we talk?
Yeah. So
minute.
Yeah. Their run blocking last year was real good. Their run blocking was real good.
Yes.
It was just a pass protection, but at the same time, I don't think it was always their fault. As far as the line, a lot of times they wasn't open, and then a lot of times he didn't release it when they were open.
The autistic kid wasn't processed.
So we'll see, because everybody's going to be paying attention to how the line pass protects, and if he had time, was it on him or was it on the line? And it's going to be big them first couple of games. I guarantee you they're going to be dissecting the hell out of that. So hopefully we don't have to worry about that.
We're running the football. We get off the bus running.
To an extent.
Well, I want to ask you guys something, and I'll give you the stat line on him. He's someone that I guess I was super high on him when he was drafted, but he was one of the first of that. Shut him down. If you're not going to a bowl game, load management, bed rest. We're talking Jadeveon Clowney. He was a number 1 overall pick by Houston in 2014. He's got some career numbers here. He's got 43 career sacks, 13 forced fumbles, 224 solo tackles, 96 assists. Okay, he's got a pick 6 out there. So let's talk about him. There's been a lot of rumor in you guys' local media feed that the Bears may have some interest in him.
Practice squad.
Practice squad. I'll start with Ace. Are you taking calls and making calls to Jadeveon Clowney's mother?
He can come be on my practice squad. If somebody gets hurt, we can put. He can't have a roster spot of mine right now. No, not for the money he's gonna want. Absolutely not.
So if you can have Nick Foles or Jadeveon Clowney, who would you rather have on the Bears?
Robbie Gold.
All right, I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna go with you, Diesel, because this guy obviously. Jadeveon Clowney. First of all, I before you go, Diesel, I'll give my take. I'm making calls. I'm sending an Uber X to pick his mother up because she's probably negotiating for this Ray. And they don't have agents these days. And I'll go ahead and I'm signing Jadeveon. I'll take a flyer on Jadeveon, man, for a season or two. Bezos?
No, I don't want him. He to me, he's really not that he's not that great of a player, man. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. But that's it. And he's not worth the money that he's trying to get. And he has a tendency to be hurt a lot of the time. So yeah, I wouldn't get him at all. You just
I think they said they can get him for like $7-8 million, bro. Well, how's he not better than those bums?
Well, I didn't know what the figures were that they were talking about, but if it's like 7 or lower,
yes,
possibly 7 or lower, possible. Because you already got.
If he's going to follow the Hitch principle, because I don't know if he's a Hitch principle type of guy that's going to run to the end of the play.
Nah,
that's coach.
He ain't that kind of guy.
Yeah, he seemed like the type that'll sleep in the White Sox bullpen. He seems like one of those type of guys. His name is Jadeveon, for God's sake. He should have been an NBA player.
He'd sleep in the Sox bullpen back there with Harry Carey and drinking Bud Light. Yeah.
Most people don't know that Carey started with the Sox.
Southside. I mean?
Yeah. Big ups, rest up, Harry Carey. All right, so you guys aren't taking a flyer on him. I guess that's on me. So anything else about those Bears y'all want to mention before we jump to the next topic?
No clowny. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not.
All righty. All right. So
I didn't see a sighting of Trash and Edwards yesterday. So is he still on the roster?
That's a good question. Chaston wasn't running 12 yards of play, 20 yards of play in the preseason, huh?
No, we got that kid out of Texas getting those reps.
Yes, they said he's a great pass blocker too. So I'm excited, man, because one of the backs go down. Knock on wood, man. They deep. So Rachel Nichols is joining the Undisputed cast on FS1 as a panelist, where she'll take turns as a co-host, verbally sparring with Skip Bayless. You guys may know that former NFL quarterback Richard Sherman, the guy, Stanford education from Compton, and rapper Lil Wayne will be on Fridays. So Shannon's gone. One thing about Undisputed, I used to like their topics, but go ahead. Give me your take. How you feel about Rachel Nichols? Isn't she the one called, that's some sort of colored girl, got caught with her phone lines open or something on the ESPN call and said the only reason the black girl got the job is because she couldn't process because she was black or something like that?
Well, they all say that.
We don't know what's in her heart. I don't know the whole story on that.
We don't know what's in her heart. And she's the one. Who's the one she allegedly got with? Was it Dwayne Wade or one of those? I think Butler.
It's Dwayne Wade's. Michael Jordan's son.
No. It was Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Oh wow.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. So I don't give a damn who they got on there with Skip. Shannon had his time with Skip and he moved on. So they're gonna find somebody else sooner or later to get with Skip and they're gonna keep running the show.
Shannon is a unisex name. It leans towards feminine. If you know your child's gonna be a misgender or something, you might want to go with a name like Shannon. Go ahead, Diesel. What's your take?
I sent you a picture of Shannon with a woman, man. That's all you need to see.
What's your take?
Okay, so he gets Richard Sherman, who could probably cover the NFL pretty decent.
Yes.
But how is he going to do on other sports? I have no idea.
I think that's where Rachel comes in.
But
maybe when they lean towards more basketball.
She's just the mediator. She's not like out there to be debating. She's just the mediator, like the host.
Yeah, but no, she's gonna. They got that lady already. They already got their mediator. They
No,
already
wait
got.
a minute. If it's gonna, it's gonna.
They,
I think she's supposed to be. Now, if she's gonna be
no,
a
they already
debater
got the
too.
mediator. That blonde lady that's been on the show. She's not going anywhere. She's going to be a debater. Some days it's going to be Skip against Richard Sherman. Some days it's going to be Skip debating against Rachel Nichols. I know you don't think she can debate because she's a woman and you were born way back in the day, and you know. But and then on Fridays, on alternating Fridays, when they can get Lil Wayne out of bed, Lil Wayne's gonna be there debating Skip. I can't write this. Couldn't make it.
I mean, so Lil Wayne, to me, he okay. We'll see how he does, but I listened to him when he's done.
I thought he was gonna call Lil Wayne autistic. Go ahead.
When he's done his commentary on different shows, on different stuff, he's always biased for like the Lakers and whatever his favorite team
he's
is.
a homer. Oh, he's
So
and
how
it's
you
not even
gonna
his
do
home
a-
team. You're
How
right.
you gonna do a show like that and you're not objective? You're just gonna always try to make
You know
it,
that that disgusts me. Stephen A. does. And then it'd be one thing if they're like, I'm from Chicago, those are the Bulls, those are the Cubs. These, or I played for Chicago. These cats be from New York, Lakers fans. Well, Stephen A. is a Knicks fan, but he loves the what's his football team? It ain't the Giants.
the
Cowboys, Steelers,
the
yeah.
Steelers, Mike Tomlin.
If you're gonna be a homer from
For your
where
hometown.
home is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, he's absolutely right.
But
I
you're
don't know
right.
how
Lil
Wayne's
Wayne
gonna
is.
do
Yeah, I don't
on
like
that
his
because he's too biased.
They
Richard
said
Sherman would have to
Snoop Dizzle turned him down. Snoop Dizzle, baby.
And Rachel Nichols, we'll see if she's doing regular debates, but he's kind of still in first takes format.
Exactly.
He's still in his format.
Exactly.
He get different people on certain days. He got Mad Dog on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
But he created the original first take format. So I guess turnabout is fair play.
It's mine.
It was cold pizza before it was first take. And it was a few of them sitting there like that. And then you had the girl who used to be the mediator. She got in trouble for making comments at a thing when she got drunk about I think it was Jews. And they kicked her off the show. Remember her?
I gotta look at her. Was she some sort of melanated?
No, she's a Caucasian lady, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's on now. I think she's on. She covers something for CBS Sports or whatever.
Yeah.
But back when it was cold pizza, she made some. I don't know if it's. I believe it was Jews, but it could be a different group. But something got her in trouble. She got off the show, and then I think Stephen A. used to appear on there occasionally, and then Skip said, "Hey, he wanted Stephen A. To do that show with him."
Yeah.
But Stephen A. ended up when they were doing kind of basically taking the spotlight from Skip. If you watched it all these years,
It was the same thing. It was the same thing with Shannon. Shannon's ratings was higher. Same thing. Stephen A.'s ratings was higher than with Skip. Skip has a horrible relationship with former athletes.
Yeah, but Skip was making the most money. That's all Skip is concerned.
Yeah, Skip was making more money, but he kept. And you notice when it was different subjects, he basically kept his same ideology or perception.
His narrative, yes.
Same
And
thing.
he chose and he selected all the topics. Go ahead. And that's what Shannon was pissed about too. He's got Shannon looking like a coon week after week.
And see, I don't think he could do that though. When he was still on First Take, I believe it got to a point where he couldn't just select the topics because Stephen A. had a lot of pull. He couldn't just pick every topic every damn day. And then
Exactly. And that's why he went to Fox. And when he went to Fox, he had full autonomy.
He did.
And the big desk.
But Stephen A. says, hey,
big
whenever Michael Irvin's issue is resolved, he's like, he liked having him on, was it Mondays?
Yeah.
He liked to have him to debate football on Mondays.
Yeah.
He likes Mad Dog on Wednesdays, and I forget some of the other days he was saying, but yeah, they're just taking that format because they seen how it does, and they're gonna try it out to see if it does well for them. So,
what is Michael Irvin's issue?
That case is still
covered it. Ace. It was the video at the.
Yeah, nothing happened.
It's still ongoing. It ain't been resolved yet.
Exactly.
So until it's resolved, involved, they're not going to let him back on the
That's
air
right.
until that issue is resolved.
There were
That's
there were no criminal charges filed.
No.
So they're waiting for the.
He's actually suing the hotel, but
Yeah.
again, I mean, don't sit there and act like he's not just colored. He's one of those dark skinned coloreds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he shows up to court. The jury looks at him like, shoot. All right, well, his jury of his peers. Let's go ahead and run through this list real quick, y'all. We want to do our predictions for our NFL top 9 teams, strictly based on their final regular season record, what you think that might be. I'll kick this off. My number 9 team, to Ace's point, is our 3-14 Bears last season. I have them finishing 10-7 this year. The first preseason game actually solidified that prediction. My new homer position is 11-6. My honorable mention is the 7-10 Browns with Handy J. I have them going 10-7. So I got the Browns finishing number 10. You guys don't have to have an honorable. My number 9 is Bears. Ace, who's your number 9 team?
The number 9 team is in the division. I'm going with the Detroit Lions.
You
number
believe
9
in
team.
Overall number 1 pick, drop dead gorgeous Jared Goff. You believe in him, huh?
No, I believe in the talent that they got on that damn team. I don't give a damn about Jared Goff, but they got a coach that.
Yeah, I like the coach. Yeah, he's
can coach a squad, and he's got a lot of players over there. They're young.
He's the type of coach you want to run through a wall for, man. Those coaches, you can't teach what he's got. All right, Diesel, go ahead with your number 9. If you want to mention an honorable mention, you're welcome to.
No honorable mentions. I'm gonna say for number 9, I'm gonna say the Steelers.
Yeah, man, they didn't make my list, bro. But yes, I look for the Steelers to be a surprise. It was tough leaving them off the list. My number 18, they were 7-10 last season. Smug Rogers and Benny and the Jets. I got them finishing 10-7 as well, and that's my number 8 team in the National Football League. Ace.
Number 8. Going with the Browns of Cleveland. Handy J had a whole season to recover, learn his new city, find him a new collection of masseuses professionally.
Instagram back page.
No, come on. He's been through all of that. He's got professionals in his new city.
OnlyFans models. That's what I'm saying. His masseuses. But go ahead. You got. Okay. All right. I got them as honorable mentions. What do you think they're going to finish at this season? Wins and losses.
10-7.
Okay. Number 8. D's.
The Giants.
They got Saquon Barkley signed. They were a playoff team last season. I'll tell you, the Giants they didn't even make my playoffs. They didn't even make my list, but I definitely can't argue with that. My number 17, Saquon and
he's going down mid-season. He's not happy.
Saquon and Danny Dimes. My number 17, I'm going with they were 9-8 last season. The Fins. I predict them to finish 10-7. Their quarterback will probably only get 1 concussion this season. Ace.
What about butt muscles rupture?
Yeah, he's had some weird injuries. But Hawaii's burning down right now, and that's where he's from. So he's gonna, dedicate.
Got to go home. I'm going with the uberly defensively talented New York Jets that brought on a Hall of Fame quarterback to guide them to the playoffs. So I'll go with the Jets, Jets.
You're talking about Smug Rogers, who cut and ran, didn't want to take the abuse from the Bears, who he says he owns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. And let's jump to number 7, gentlemen. What's up, Diamond? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that was my 17.
Oh, that was 7. All right. Well, let's jump to number 6. I got this is a melanated quarterback. So far, I got Justin Fields on the list, and I've also got Tuivelua. But I'm going with another melanated quarterback in the 6th slot. They finished 10-7 last season. His mom negotiated a great deal for him. He's happy. He's paid. 10-7. Action Jackson, Lamar. I got them finishing 11-6. They have a new, offensive coordinator, a new system, and everything. They brought in some talent around him, and he's happy. 11-6. Ravens be finishing 6 overall on my NFL power ranking. 9. Ace, your number 6.
My number 6. Bear down, Chicago Bears will fight to the end for victory.
So you got a 14-3 team ranked number 6.
Yeah.
He's got them finishing 14-3.
They haven't made the playoffs yet.
I got you.
He's on those
These teams
pills,
above
yeah.
him.
Mhm. He's got them pills going on, don't you?
He's got the pills and the lean and Molly Percocets.
It'll be too late to jump on the bandwagon in December, you sons of bitches.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're right. Like I said, I got them on my list here.
All right.
Diesel, you're number 6?
The Bengals. The Bengals.
Mm-hmm. They finished 12-4 last season. So you got the Bengals at 6. Okay. My number 5 team, nobody circles the wagons like the Bills. They were 13-3 last year. I got them finishing 11-6 this season, but I still have them finishing 4th overall on my power list. Ace, 5th overall on my power list. Ace, who's your 5?
My 5 is the Baltimore Ravens with the former MVP and the young man who's happy to be making almost $300 million. The Baltimore OBJ Ravens.
Yeah, it's not too far off my list because I had them 5. I had them 6. You got them 5. All right, Diesel stepped away. So, all right. I'll go ahead and do number 4. My number 4. We got another. Well, no, actually, my number 4 is the 12-4 Bengals last season. I got them finishing 11-6. So the Bengals are my number 4 team.
My number 14, I got slotted in. The disappointing team of last year, but but they're number 4 this year. I got them, the Buffalo Bills. And
our lister circles the wagons.
The wagons, like the Buffalo Bills.
Our lists are somewhat similar here. You got the Bears a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So that was your number 4.
Yeah.
What do you got the Bengals record at? You got the Bears 14-3. What are the Bengals going to be? 15-2.
The Bills.
Yeah.
They're in a tougher division, so I've got them going 12-5.
All right, that's arguable, and they got the more playoff experience, et cetera, and they got quarterback who's not high on the autism scale potentially.
No, high on the spectrum.
Yeah, spectrum. All right.
Can we say that on
We've been saying it. My 3rd team. This is a melanated quarterback, so this will be my 1, 2, 3, 4th melanated quarterback. They finished 14-3 last year. This guy had one of the best Super Bowls ever. It was a LeBron James type of Super Bowl where you put up these great numbers, but you don't get the W. A guy we thought the Bears should have drafted. I wanted him bad, but thank God we didn't because we got just in time. 14-3 Eagles. Super Bowl runner-ups. I got them finishing 12-5 this season. That's my 3rd overall in the power rankings.
My 3rd overall, I've got, depending on the injury situation, the Cincinnati Bengals, 3rd overall, coming out of that AFC East.
Okay.
I think they're holding off the Burrows kid until the beginning of the season. He'll be good to go game 1. So I'm going with Cincy at my number 3.
Okay. All right. Well, you're gonna have an issue, at least in my mind, because I haven't seen you mention this team yet, which is my number 2 team, defensive team. They brought in that drop dead gorgeous running back, Christian McCaffrey. Great name.
Oh, I do have a problem.
Yeah. San Fran at 13-4 last season. I'm pushing for parity this season. I'm sensing a lot of parity. So they'll actually be 11-6. It's going to be some parity. But I will have them number 2 above the melanated quarterback who could be potentially high on the autism scale. My number 2 team is San Fran. But before you do your number 2 team, we got to get Dio up to speed. These are where are we at when you left? I think we need your number 5 through number 3.
Let's see, 5, 4, and 3. So 5 would be the Eagles. No, I'm sorry. 5 would be the 49ers. 4 would be the Jets. And 3 would be the Eagles.
You got the Jets hot. Yeah, they are a well put together team, bro. And all they were missing was an Aaron Rodgers. If you can keep them off the ayahuasca, you don't hear Stephen A, doing that all the time. Okay, so you got my number 2, which is the Niners. Ace, what's your number 2?
My number 2, I got I'm finishing with 2 melanated quarterbacks. My number 2 guy is out of Philly that the Bears should have had. Jalen Hurts. Philadelphia is going to finish. They're definitely going to run roughshod through that damn division. And I got Philadelphia Eagles as my number 2 squad.
Bezo.
Number 2, I have the Dolphins, Miami.
What? You got 2? You believe in Tua?
Not primarily him. The rest of the team, because before he got them little injuries last year, they was balling.
Man, they was balling, bro. But he was balling. You can't take nothing away.
I mean, he was balling, but he was balling as a result of. I mean, he lobbing the ball up to somebody who's open by 20 yards.
Yeah,
you see what
it's
I'm
not.
saying?
I
So
see
they
what you're saying. It's not like he was doing any magical processing or anything.
Right.
Like
It
that.
was just like anybody else would have hit him and it would have looked even worse than it was. But, he lobbing it up and they running it down. So, no, I just think, and again, we make these predictions based on health. If we feel that everybody's 100% healthy. So,
and who the backups could be. Right. Correct. All right. All right. Yeah, they are a deep team if they can keep Tua upright. Go ahead with your number 1 team and then throw it to Ace. What's your number 1 team, Diesel? I think we may all be in agreement.
Your favorite, the type of cake you like? Carrot cake.
Carrot top, sideshow Bob. Kansas City, they finished 14-3 last year. They won the Super Bowl. Ace, I believe that's your melanated quarterback as well. Ace, you sat here and predicted last year's Super Bowl. You really think that's going to happen? Not. I know we didn't predict this. This is just regular season, but you really think that the 2 teams that went to the Super Bowl are going to be the best 2 teams leading into the playoffs again next season? That never happens mathematically. It's impossible.
No, it's not going to happen. But these are my preseason power rankings. And then we'll revisit a little bit later. But
no. He always does that, Diesel. This is what you're predicting their final regular season records to be. Of course, this is all adjustable week after week. This isn't how you think they're going to start. This is how you're predicting they're going to end up at the end of
that's
the
not the stipulations I was given at the beginning of this thought experiment on the NFL. Otherwise,
Sox fans.
A bit different.
No wonder you guys are risk life and limb catching a red line at 35th and State Street, round the other side from the low end to see a bunch of bums play baseball. No one.
Right, the Metro.
Yeah. And then walk over.
Yeah. But anyway,
right, back.
I still, you
didn't have San Fran.
I don't think they both can make it due to injury. They both played 2 hard, long seasons last year, and somebody's not going to make it. Somebody's going to get hurt. So, San Fran, no, they don't have a quarterback now. They're trying to decide between the guy that got hurt in game 2 and the guy that got hurt in game 20. So, I don't believe in the continuity of the Niners. So, Kansas City, Chicago Bears, Super Bowl.
All right, you guys. So y'all heard it. I thought we all had some solid predictions. One red flag is Ace not putting San Fran on his list. We'll see how that pan out. You don't have confidence in the melanated quarterback? He should be back.
I have confidence in the 49ers, no.
Why? Because the quarterback's black? I mean, what's your problem with it?
They don't have a black quarterback. That guy's not starting. Oh, Purdy's still hurt?
No, Purdy's back. I mean, that's
he's going to be
the thing
starting.
about him. Yeah, people are voting for Purdy. No, you got to put that other kid in there, man, and let Purdy be your black up.
No. That other kid almost got you to the damn Super Bowl.
All right, well, let's jump to Burger of the Week, and then we'll get on topic. You guys, before we do this week's Burger of the Week, we want to just play a quick video of last week's Burger of the Week out there. And then we're going to share with you guys who was selected for Burger of the Week this year. So, last week's Burger of the Week. Jim, I'm popping pills allegedly and drinking liquor. Say less.
If I die tonight and there's out of the league, no one's going to miss us. The league goes on. I mean, we know that. The National Football rolls on. It doesn't matter, who comes and who goes. And it's a privilege to be part of it.
It's the Good Old Boys Network. And especially you're on the contract, they feel like they definitely got you by the cojones. Between the those 2 franchise tags, and hold out.
Yeah! Well, I used to run home to watch this every day. Boy, Confederate flag. I remember my mama mentioning something about the Confederate flag.
No, that's just a cow, Ma.
Yeah, it's the General Lee.
That's bold little dude. And Cooter.
Good old-fashioned American racism, huh? Cooter.
Right, I'll see
All right,
you
you guys.
every week.
Yeah, that was last week's Booger of the Week. But this Booger of the Week, we do politics. And so this isn't necessarily a sports person per se. But I think it's very appropriate because, that's what we do here. Booger of the Week. Hold on, guys. Stand by for share. Can't say to help if I hit the share button. Booger of the Week, the riverboat captain, who said he was good friends and said that the co-captain or whatever you call him, his first mate, the black dude who got pounded, we don't know what's in their hearts by those white people. He said how, before this on CNN, he said how great of a man he is and how gentle he is. And this is his commentary on the attackers. I don't know his name.
But I saw it like everybody else saw it. It looks like a white people attacking a black man. I thought that, I felt that was the case, what everybody's thinking. But, I don't know the hearts of those men. I have no idea what's in their hearts.
All right. There we go, John. Man.
You son of a bitch, you certainly weren't going out there to help him, were you?
He said he was the one that was This dude was the one that was on the PA telling those guys to move their boat. You know what I mean? He's the agitator, you know? But, you know, we make fun of that on this show and on the self-love show. We don't know what's in these people's hearts. They don't know what's in each other's heart. You know, that was a big catchphrase, late 90s. But there you go. There you have it right there, Ace. When I saw that, guys, I said, son of a bitch. Did you see the sister's face when he said it too? Did you see her face?
You think you gotta run that back. Like, no, this some bitch didn't say, we don't know what's in their hearts.
Yeah, I think she's been watching the self-love show. Look at it. It's only 20 seconds. Here we go. Watch this. Or she's been watching. Oh, what's going on? Scotty Pippen. Jim Irsay. Oh, Scotty Pippen. There we go.
Yeah.
You guys aren't getting this share?
Yeah. No audio.
No sound.
All right, one more time. It's the serious doing something that is, I have no idea
what's in their hearts.
I have no idea.
Who are the guys?
All right, here we go.
But you know, I saw it like
Watch this
everybody
lady's
else saw
face.
it. It looks like a white people attacking a black man. I thought that, I felt that, I felt that was the case, what everybody's thinking. But, you know, I don't know the hearts of those men. I have no idea what's in their hearts.
Come on, Cooter. She like, come on, Cooter.
Cooter.
The hell you mean you don't know what's in their hearts?
Booger of the week. You guys got any commentary before we move on?
Shipboat Captain Cooter is Booger of the week. You on the PA, and everybody else on the boat like, man, they down there kicking Skeeter's ass. Hey, get us over there. Like,
yeah, he was the one who pulled in, was telling him, move your boat, you know, and they was flipping him off. So he was the agitator.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Send Scooter and send Pookie out there. Go down there and tell the boat full of drunk white people they got to move their shit.
Yeah. He's like, better, I'm going to move it my damn self. Let me unhook this damn boat and push this son of a bitch out of our way so we can get these people off our boat and I can go home and do some drinking.
Yeah, he probably said, what? You gonna flip me off? Wait 1 second. Sent this guy down there, and he got looked like he got mollywopped until the mob came out there.
Yeah.
One thing I'm gonna say about us though, if that was black people fighting, and as much as I hate to say it, 9 times out of 10 they'd have came out shooting. You know what I mean? I mean they shot rest in peace King Von over less. You know, and the point I'm making is that, you know, we can go out there and fight. I'm not saying we should have shot those white people, but we can go out there and fight and do what's right, and act like human beings, you know, like what they showed, and not shoot one another up. If that was on 73rd and Narragansett, y'all know good and damn well somebody would have pulled out a stick and started shooting.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been no. But you know, it was just good old Southern. Hatfields versus the McCoys, the coloreds against the whites of the town, and you know, it just escalated so quickly that between my man throwing up the hat and my brother coming out with that damn folding chair, the fight was over pretty quickly. Now my man with the chair was out there regulating when the police was there. He didn't give a damn what was going on.
Yeah, I think he's still in jail. They're trying to get a GoFundMe to get him out.
Yeah.
You know, they don't like when you throw a chair unless you're Bobby Knight. You know, there's a history of people throwing chairs at white folks. I think Randy Moss did it in college. Your boy Allen Iverson allegedly did it. These race skirmishes break out. But Diesel, you got any take on this before we get on topic here, bro?
Nah, y'all covered it all, man. Dude who with that chair, he did one swing too many. As if, you know, once them security people was there stopping it, and then he just hit the lady right in the head, right in front of him. at the, it was, it was pretty much over. And they let him get his licks in with it. And then he just did the one
going.
more and hit her in the head right in front of them after it was pretty much over. So they're like, nah, we got to take you in. So, but nah, y'all covered it.
It was over then.
All right, Booger of the week. All right, you guys. And then so we'll hit our sponsor, and then today's hottest topic is sponsored by Winnie in the Butt 97.
97.1.
We have a butt. We have a butt.
Cool weekends in the morning, 97.1 FM.
Weekends in the morning with Weenie in the butt.
WQHG 97.1.
97.1.
97.1.
We have a butt.
In the morning, cool weekends.
FM. Weenie. And a butt.
Manic Monkey 97.1.
Cool weekends in the morning. All weekend long.
Weenie and the Butt.
On the radio.
FM. Dickie the Punchline Donkey on Cool 97.1. On the radio.
In the morning. FM. WQHG.
Cool weekends.
In the morning. On 97.1.
97.1.
Weenie in the Butt.
97.1.
In the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Oh my God.
WQHG. Turn it on and rip the knob off.
You're listening to the radio.
We have a butt.
But I saw it like everybody else saw it.
So we're on topic. Pick up to the sponsors. Black Equestrians. What's up with that? Plus hot weekly political topics. Let's go ahead and jump on it. So this is a topic that, I never thought about. I know during the, the pandemic, you had, the black cowboy in Chicago. He ended up, riding his horse on the freeway. They had to put that horse down.
No,
that was rumor.
Yeah.
They said they had to put I think it did end up being a rumor, but they did a national story. They said they had to put the horse down because the horses aren't supposed to be running on concrete like that. But police horses do it. Yeah, I guess it's rumor. All right. But anyway, so this got me to thinking. And then there was the movies about black cowboys. It makes you wonder who would be working the fields. But in the 18th and 19th centuries, many enslaved Africans and African Americans worked as riders, groomers, trainers, and jockeys for their white masters, developing skills and expertise in horsemanship. Some of them also escaped slavery by riding horses to freedom. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
After the Civil War, many black equestrians became cowboys, ranchers, farmers, and rodeo performers in the American West, where they faced discrimination and violence from white settlers. Historians estimate that more than 1 in 4 cowboys in the American West were black. 1 in 4.
Wow. That's a pretty high number, especially when we couldn't get any damn land or ownership of anything. Unless we had some type of capital from somewhere. Damn sure couldn't get no homestead loan. So, that's pretty high.
I've always said the regulators from that movie, they were supposed to have been black.
Yeah.
You had the engine. I don't know if you can say engine, but you had your engine and you know, Billy the Kid and all them.
Yeah.
They were probably black historically.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. All the history has been changed to his story. So, there's no telling the color of those particular regulators during that time. Absolutely.
So we were the rodeo performers, which doesn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most famous black cowboys was Bill Pickett. He invented the rodeo event of bulldogging or steer wrestling. This was invented by a brother, where a rider jumps from a horse onto a steer, wrestles it to the ground by biting the steer's lip. I said, son of a bitch, who thought of that? He performed in shows across the U.S. and abroad and was inducted into the National Rodeo Hall of Fame in 1971. Big Bill Pickett.
Yeah. And I would assume there had to be some brothers out there bronco busting, taking those wild horses and making them,
Breaking
able
them.
to be, breaking them, making able to be ridden
Buck
by,
breaking.
So you got to take all this history that we go through, as far as cowboys and things that can't be recorded by picture, with a grain of salt when it comes to the history of cowboys in the United States.
All right, go ahead, Diesel. Go ahead.
So if anybody who knows me knows I'm a fan of thoroughbred horse racing.
Yeah, I do remember that. You used to be
Since
talking
I
about
was,
the Derby. I forgot all about that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, since I was little, going to the track with my dad. And, then as I got older, I just took it upon myself to go learn about the sport. And then as I learned, it's actually no different than how other sports that Blacks or African Americans or any type of race with an African in it gets treated. So if you look, you could even take like I guess like baseball, you could kind of use. So how what we had to go through to get into the game, right? And then Latin players got into the game, right? Well, if you look at baseball, you'll say, well, Latin players, they predominantly got a stronghold on baseball.
Yeah, your Cubans, your Dominicans.
Yeah, Venezuelans.
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans.
From the cocaine triangle.
And it's very similar in horse racing, okay? The only difference being is that horse racing, when Blacks dominated it, it was early. There was a lot of Blacks playing baseball up until, the 70s, even in the 80s, and then they kind of just weeded it down to a smaller percentage. And to me, it's almost like a controlled racism. So now here's what's funny. A lot of these jockeys, Latin or I'll say Latin or from the islands or whatever, a lot of them, their skin is Black, but they're not considered Black. And
correct.
I almost get the impression that that whether you say white America or Europe or Caucasians, they may feel in their minds it's easier to control them as opposed to
manage
us.
them. Yeah, they can't manage us anymore.
They'd rather have that than
than
us in that particular sport because they feel they can manipulate it better.
I'd say not even just in the sport, in America, period.
Period in general. And it's weird because when I got in, so I primarily got into the sport in the late 90s, and the friends who I've become to know that were already into the sport, and they used to call me the kid because they was like, he looked so young to be knowing about horse racing at that time.
And these people were they melanated?
Yeah, these are all like
okay. Yeah, because I know
guys.
It's community of it. I've been looking at it on YouTube.
Black guys, they go to the tracks or the off-track.
Some of them own horses. Yeah,
they hang out. It's a community. It truly is. It's a community like any other thing that people gravitate to and they like. It's that type of community, and it'd be a couple of Hispanic guys, but for the most part, it would be Black folks that,
Okay, and they called you the kid.
The kid. They called me the kid.
Billy the kid was Black.
Billy the kid. There you go.
Yeah. And it took me. I didn't go often. I'd go once every couple of weeks and watch the races and I bet and I would lose a lot because for like a year or two because I wasn't fully understanding what was going on. And then I remember it was a brother. I used to this one black guy. He used to be in the off-track betting all the time. Every time I went in there, he was in it. And so then I just took it upon myself one day, and I went and asked him about a particular race, and I said, "What's an average time?"
He was like, "Give me your gold watch, baby, and I'll tell you anything you want to know."
I said, "What's an average time?"
What was that on Good Times? Came over and brought them a nice piece of silver. And came back. I just need
silver,
that back.
salt, and pepper shakers.
Yeah, I got a 5 and 5 on the ponies, and I just come back and
oh, you
talking mamba jamba.
You stole they silver.
Yeah, but he had gave it to him. He was a Native American giver.
But yeah, no, the guy helped me out. He told me, "Hey, average time and that you see at every track throughout the country, the winning time would be this." And then I asked him for another distance, and then I started basing what I would see off of what he told. And then I started putting in the work. I got better. And my friends, and these guys are all over. They started to respect me because of what they seen as far as what I knew and when I would win. And they'd be right there. And
let me ask you, have you ever ridden a horse?
No, never rode a horse.
You see, here's the thing, Ace. What gets me is this. You got the black cowboy there. I moved to Cali and I'd be, working different places. And I swear a good percentage of people would be like, yeah, I'm going out to the horses. I'm going out to the ranches. We own, I rent a horse or we own a horse. My horse is at the stables. These are all not black people. And it just boggled my mind. Like, I've never met anybody in the shop to be like, yeah, I'm going out to the ranch, to the stables this week and, ride my horse. It's just interesting that, we're not involved. I want to bring this up to the 20th century. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, black jockeys dominated the sport of thoroughbred racing, winning 15 out of the first 28 Kentucky Derbies. I never knew that. The first Kentucky Derby in 1875 featured 13 out of 15 black jockeys. To your point, Diesel, 13 of the 15 of the first Kentucky Derby was black riders, including the winner, Oliver Lewis. That don't sound like it's Latino or some sort of Hispanic. However, by 1904, black jockeys were unofficially banned, so blackballed, from horse racing due to racism. Well, you don't know what was in their hearts, and violence from white competitors and spectators. The next black jockey to ride in the Kentucky Derby was Marlon St. Julian in 2000. And he sounds like some sort of non-found.
Wow.
He's a non-foundational black.
From 1904
to 2000. He used to ride here locally sometimes. And where I was going at, as far as what I was trying to tell you guys, as far as like my journey learning into the sport, I was going to get into where a lot of the jockeys who run as far as in the 70s, 80s, 90s to now, where they come from. And as far as the U.S., you get a lot of these guys Cajun from Louisiana and stuff. But a lot of them are white, Caucasian, but they Cajun as far as their names.
I know what you mean. They sound black. You have to turn around and look at them. I thought that nigga was black.
The Harry Connick Juniors of the world.
Marlon St. Julian, I believe he started down there. See,
that makes sense.
Country.
Because I thought he wasn't foundational, but that does sound like one of those patois type of.
Now, he's retired now, but I remember plenty of races watching him race. I know races where I bet on him and won, races where I bet on him and lost. And there really isn't. I know some of the black, who the black jockeys are now.
The black disciples.
But
some of the black disciples.
Or if you want to call them that. But there's not a upper echelon A rider. You got like riders who we call like the A-list jockeys, B-list, C-list. You know what I mean? There's not one A-list black jockey in this country.
Foundationally black American jockey.
No, I wouldn't care if he's from Africa. Now, here's the thing. A lot of these Latin countries, Peru, Venezuela, Puerto Rico. So they have their own horse racing there. So a lot of those jockeys train there before they come to the U.S. and
kind of
try
like
to get
baseball.
on. Yes, it's almost the same. That's why I was comparing it to baseball.
Wow.
You don't really see, if they do that in Africa, I never really hear about it, like African jockeys like that, Nigeria and all of those different countries. No, I do hear it in Jamaica though. They got jockeys, but I never really see any of them come to the US and you're like, hey, we got this Jamaican jockey who's riding like you do from all these other countries and do well. Marlon St. Julian, he was what I would call, if you know horse racing, you got like A-list tracks, the main tracks where they run for the most money. You got B-list tracks. He was like a B-list track rider. He used to ride it on the B circuit for different tracks.
Probably could have been on the A circuit, but due to collusion and we don't know what's in their heart, they kept him on the B circuit.
Well, he's actually known. I'm pretty sure this was him. I believe it was him. It was either him or this other black jockey. It was a race in the fog. It was like a foggy night. So when you're watching the race,
there's Eagles.
He never, when they came out the gate, he never ran the race. He just stayed at the stall.
Wow.
Didn't even run the race.
Wow.
So straight payoff.
Why didn't he run the race?
Well, they saying you can get corruption in all sports. So there's tons of horse races where guys done crooked stuff.
I swear, if I'm a cheat, man, you got to at least act like you tried to.
If it wasn't, I believe it was Marlon St. If it wasn't him, it was this other guy named Carmouche. I forget his first name. Let's
put a pin right there. Put a pin right there. Just want to finish up this brief history, and then we're going to yap it.
Okay.
So today, there are many organizations and initiatives that aim to promote diversity and inclusion in equestrian sports, such as the Compton Cowboys. I'm going to look into that, maybe get some footage. The Urban Equestrian Academy, the Strides for Equality Equestrians, the Equestrian Diversity Project, the United States Hunter Jumper Association, Diversity and Inclusion Advocacy Committee, and others. They provide education, mentorship, scholarships, and advocacy for Black equestrians and other unrepresented groups in the equestrian community. So, you guys, I was just giving the public a brief summary of some of the highlights of Black equestrian history. Of course, we got much more work to do. So that's all I had. I wanted to get out, but yeah, I mean, Ace, have you ever watched the Kentucky Derby? Have you ever cared? I think the Secretariat was trying to get the Triple Crown. I think I got involved.
I mean, I watched racing, not to the point that I knew what was going on, but just you hear certain flash names leading up to the Derby or leading up to the bigger races. But nothing, I had no favorite jockey or no knowledge of melanated jockeys in this country competing in these races. And the fact that you hadn't had a jockey from 1904 to 2000 racing the Kentucky Derby.
After we were 13 out of 15 of the original jockeys.
Well, we know that's collusion. But that's terrible to hear. Man, something has to be done, just like in every sport. Diesel, did you watch any of the harness racing, or you were just strictly thoroughbreds?
No, I actually got into harness somewhat because of my friends who were into horse racing. There was a certain part of them where they were into harness. And, when I was coming, I wasn't into harness. I was like, man, I ain't messing with that stuff because I used to always hate how they could break, if they break stride, you eliminate. If you bet your money's gone. So I hated it. I couldn't stand it. But eventually, because
I gotta go to the pawn shop, baby. He lost his money.
They would always be betting and really into the harness. So I kind of learned about it. And I know harness is not my forte, but
let me ask you guys. Let me ask you guys, and I'll start with you, Diesel. How important is the jockey? Okay, so if you say, just like kind of like car racing, I always say, well, did the car win or did that guy back there win? Maybe it's a combination. But if you had to give a percentage, 70%, horse, 30% jockey. Where would y'all put this equation for this importance?
Jockey is very, very important. Very important. Yes, sir.
Really?
You take a good jockey, he's gonna in the money. So you figure, let's say an average.
So they got to
day,
create a relationship with the horse. It's more going on than what we than just
oh
getting on
yeah,
it.
yeah. You got to know how to ride. Whether he's a front runner, a closer, a stalker, where to position him at, when to make his move. You got to know all of that. The fastest horse don't always win the race. A lot of times the race is blown by where jockey has him placed, where they move him. You know, there's a whole bunch that goes into it. You know.
Well, this is good stuff. What percentage would you say? Like, okay, it was a horse after Secretariat, but I always just use Secretariat.
Yeah.
Would you say was that jockey versus, or is it just 50-50?
Oh, no. Listen, Secretariat. Okay, the great Secretariat. Probably my favorite, if not my favorite, one of my favorite horses of all time.
Yeah.
He lost his first race because of the jockey. His first race, his first race that he actually ran, he came in like third. Bad ride by the jockey. They took him off the horse, put another jockey on.
Yes.
He started winning.
I think his name, Shoemaker or something like that.
No, Shoemaker didn't ride. No, Bill Shoemaker didn't ride. The jockey who was famous on was Ronnie Turcotte. He was Secretary's main rider. But he rode him after the guy messed up the first race.
Bet you they didn't let no coon ride that.
The race prior to the Derby, Secretariat lost 3 times in his career, which most people don't know. And again, the first race, jockey fault. The race before the Kentucky Derby, the Wood Memorial, he lost that race. It wasn't really the jockey's fault. It was he had like a foot injury or something in his foot that caused him not to, I think he got third in the Wood Memorial. Wow. But then when the next race, the Derby, he set the record.
But just what you said about the foot injury and all that, a good jockey, a good rider knows how to have that horse ready without
position.
Position.
Yes. The thing you want if you're a trainer, owner, fan, better, horse player, all you want is that jockey to give you the best ride possible at that given time.
And not break the horse.
There's been plenty of times I lost, and I was like, "Hey, he gave me a good ride. That's all you can ask for is a good ride." Yeah. And you just know he got beat by probably a better horse that day
with a good ride.
Yes, right. Yes, but the jockey is extremely important. Extremely.
Ace, what's your take on this? The jockey versus the horse.
Well, in my
it's like a coaching player relationship.
Brief history of watching, a horse race, and I would believe that, like you were just saying, you got to have a certain cohesion between the trainer and the jockey and the horse, so everybody's on the same page when you get into these big money races of the health of the horse, the speed and the timing of the horse, and what your jockey can do. So the jockey's got to be extremely important because he's the driver. Yeah, there's plenty of fast horses out there, but if you don't know how to win,
very dangerous. They don't get they don't get them. Man, I see these guys. So you take from the late '90s to now. You know how many times I used to what jockeys run at what track on what circuit, right? You know how many times I'd be like, man, where's so-and-so? What happened to this dude? Where's he riding at? Where's he riding?
Hurt.
Man,
career over.
Career, broke necks.
Yeah. Collarbones, hips.
Man, there's so many guys I can go down the list naming guys who've been injured, and I just never see them again and didn't know that they got hurt and wasn't riding again. My favorite jockey of all time. He just retired he just retired like a month or two ago. I sent him, I actually could message him through Facebook. And I messaged him, and he knows how much I loved him as a rider. And so he would conversate with me. And I told him, I said, man, you need to retire. He's like in his 50s. I was like, dude, you done accomplished everything. Won over 7,000 races. Okay.
You told him he needed to retire.
Yeah, I told him. I was like, look, you're not
We
getting
need to get him on the
mounts.
show, Ace. It'd be nice. Go ahead, Diesel.
I was like,
Inbox.
you're not getting mounts like you used to. You got nothing else to accomplish. And I was like, I know there's certain people that have been
You
getting
got autism.
I know there's certain people that have been getting hurt in the sport. So he retired like a couple of weeks later. Promise you to God. I can show you the messages that I sent.
Did it hit you back and say thanks, man?
No, because I think he already had it in his mind that he was at that point because he wasn't getting mounts like he deserves. And he decided to step away. I was happy because these dudes really get hurt, man. Really get hurt.
I'm gonna shift gears, and my producer's telling me we got about 7 minutes. So horses, the people I've met who have horses, they've all said that they make absolutely the best pets, if not friends, ever. They say there's an experience, it's a holistic, it's a spiritual bond between a rider and their horse, or the owner and the horse. They said that they can't experience anywhere else. Now, of course, these are biased horse lovers. That being said, because even before everybody had cars, we had horses in our communities, we had to get around, we had to pull wagons. Are we missing something? Could this help our communities in ways psychologically, help with some of that trauma, and actually be another outlet? And I know we right away, black people with the cost, man, you got to feed the horse, everybody got to pay. But just saying, all money aside, how can this benefit, our communities potentially?
It'll pay for itself. If you got horses and, you're able to have the public come and see your horses. There's a guy in I think he's in Compton.
Yeah, the Compton Cowboys.
He's got like a little ranch, him and his wife, and he's actually a Pyru. He used to bang.
Big ups to the Pyros. We don't want any problems.
And I'm not sure. I think his name is Slick Root, but I'm pretty sure they got like a little farm there, and they let people come and see the horses or whatever. But it's again, you get exiled from a sport, and you got to remember most of the stature of most of these jockeys are small, which fits.
Yeah, they're little.
A lot of the
pretty much
fits a lot of the Latin community per se, and some
because here in America we've been bred. The African American is usually too heavy, too big boned.
Look, these black jockeys that are currently run right now. I'll name you a few: Kendrick Carmucci, Deshaun Parker.
Deshaun don't sound like he processing.
No, Deshaun Parker is actually a good rider.
Okay.
Kevin Cregier, Malcolm Franklin,
Ace. You don't know what's going on.
And Patrick Husbands. Now, Patrick Husbands, he rides just north of the border, primarily in Canada. But they're affiliated with our racing here in the States. And he's older now too. I look because his little brother, I think, is starting to ride now there. So I think he'll probably retire within the next few years. But he's been well respected in the horse racing industry. But my point is that you don't have anything training black folks to ride thoroughbreds like that. You know what I mean? Where are they gonna get the knowledge how to do it? Like I said, these other places, they're riding in their countries before they come here most of the time. Other than Jamaica, I don't know of no African countries where they riding horses and then they come here and to try to get on.
Right.
So it's a tough thing, man. And all of these guys, most of those guys I named, when you see their statue, they look taller than the average jock, but they're just real slim, carrying because you got to make weight.
They lean.
You got to make lean. Malcolm Franklin, man, I seen him. I said, damn, he look tall. He's just slim, real slim, and you got to keep that weight. Yeah.
What's your take? Like Diesel says, great point. It'll pay for itself. What kind of impact could this have? I'd have a bad boy program, and they'd be dealing with the horses, tending to the horses and everything, like a boot camp, and then maybe some of them can learn how to ride, jump off there and tackle a steer and bite them on the slip. Don't you go out there attacking pookies like that now. You know what I mean? Because they'll pull it, riding around on horses doing drive.
Before I forget, what's your guy from Cooley High? He's a cattle rancher.
Cochise?
Preach.
Oh, preach.
Glenn,
Right.
what's his name? Glenn Truman?
Glenn Thurman, yeah.
Thurman?
Yeah.
Look him up. I think he owns a ranch in I want to say Texas or something.
Yeah.
He's a cowboy. He calls himself a cowboy.
And you see Donna Cheek, that's on the cover of Jet. Man, she dominated the sport.
What year was that?
That's 71, bro. That's why I never seen that. And when I saw that's, I'm like, man, because my grandparents used to collect them. I still got boxes full of old Jets, but I don't know if we went back to 71. Maybe something happened to that. But I used to see them around the crib, and I never remember seeing that. I would have read that article as a kid growing up. You know what I'm saying? It probably would have got me dialed into horse racing because I didn't know they existed.
Yeah, there's some ranches around the suburbs of Chicago, but nothing that can gear basically a kid toward thoroughbred racing or really
Pearl White
racing.
is her name. My bad. Go ahead.
Horse racing. So I think that's where the disconnect comes in, as far as urban kids, especially getting into the sport or having the ability to get to a ranch or get to somewhere where they can ride a horse and learn how to ride. I rode horses when I was younger in camp and, going to certain
Yeah, I know what you're
events.
talking about. Those old sickly horses, old Sugarfoot ain't what she used to
No,
be.
I rode on some real horses.
Bugs all around. Look, I don't want to get on that horse. And bzz, bzz, bzz.
No, I rode on
Motherfucker
some
dropping
horse
diarrhea.
trails.
Motherfucker dropping diarrhea on your Air Ones. But go ahead. You were saying.
I rode on some horse trails, but kids don't go to camp anymore. Kids aren't geared into being in the outdoors. They're all everything they do is on the damn PS5. So it's tough for them to get into these outdoor type of activities in this day and age because nothing's set aside or nothing's put together, or the parents haven't rode a horse. The grandparent that did ride a horse isn't around anymore, and these programs aren't set up for kids to get out and experience the outdoors.
Yeah, could you imagine if you didn't buy that second car and you just bought your family a horse and had it on a ranch and used that car payment and insurance money towards a horse? But go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, in the States, most of the jockeys and almost all of the guys that I grew up liking and wagering and watching them run, most of them have retired. So it's like a whole new clan of new guys
Bill Shoemaker.
come in. Shoemaker's been retired. He was like at the end of the 80s, the end of the 80s.
I knew who he was. You know what I mean?
But all of the favorite guys I used to watch, Chris McCann, Jerry Bailey, Lafitte Pinkai, all those guys, all of them retired. But most of the U.S. jockeys usually come from a family who had a farm or something where they rode horses little. Exactly. And then they'll put them into like a school where they learn how to ride as far as thoroughbred horse racing. And
refine their technique and
And the same way those guys that are at these Latin places, they learn in their countries and they may even start riding early and then they'll jump to come here because the money's so
I
much
had those
better.
bad boys in there. Like, first off, you stole a kid and you robbed the community. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna shovel shit down at the ranch. You're gonna shovel shit for the first 4 months of your term down there. You know what I mean? And then once you've proven that you can shovel shit, then we'll go ahead and teach you how to take care of the horse, cultivate the horse, brush the horse. Then after that, maybe you can learn how to ride. You know what I'm saying? And by the time they complete a program like that, I can guarantee you if one thing they're not going to want to do is ever shovel shit again. But I wanted to ask you guys as we close out, ownership. Diesel, are you aware of? And then, comment and both, comment if you guys are aware of any black owners, like, Michael Jordan owns a NASCAR, Joe Gibbs, he's not black, but he has a NASCAR. But are you guys aware of any black ownership teams, and what's the future? How could that benefit us? Like if a Snoop Dogg wanted to buy a horse or Ice Cube wanted to, buy a horse.
as far as black folks, man, there hasn't been many over the years that I've known openly that own horses. I mean, I hear like a lot of different Caucasian entertainment people that you guys might know, coaches from basketball, football, from Bill Parcells to Rick Pitino, a lot of those different guys. I remember MC Hammer brought a bunch of thoroughbreds back when he made all that money on his first when he hit it real big. But because when he ended up filing bankruptcy or whatever, that was pretty much the last that you heard about it. But he had bought a lot of horses back then. Jordan, I'm surprised that he doesn't own any because from what I know, he likes thoroughbred horse racing, and he's almost at the Derby every year. He doesn't hardly miss a Derby. He takes him and his wife or whoever he's with at the time. He usually makes it to the Kentucky Derby. So I'm shocked that he doesn't own any horses or anything like that.
Again, this is always the key. And, we keep coming back to that, and that's the reason we're not there. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't hear many black folks that own
even business. Yes, it's weird.
I mean, mainly if I've heard of any, it's just been a percentage of ownership, or I own part of this horse, this, that, and the other. But
Magic Johnson probably owned 0.0001% of a million horses.
Yeah. But I it's just that it's something that we're not into. We're like going to the Derby to dress up and put on big hats. And
they go to park.
Or buying 4 Lamborghinis. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like breeding a thoroughbred, you buy you a young gelding or whatever they call them, or a mare, and you get somebody to train.
If he gets gelded, that's because they don't behave properly and they didn't cut off their nuts, so they can't produce.
Oh, so they won't breed them. Yeah.
No.
They don't want
geldings. As a horse fan,
Uh-huh.
I love geldings. You know why? Because you're going to see them as long as they can run. Because they can't go breed. So the owner and the trainer going to keep running them every year, so you get to root for your favorite.
Because they got to make money off the races, but they can't make money
off the stud.
And it's one of the things that happened over the years in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and part of the 90s. Horses used to run for a longer term. They used to run for 2, 3, 4 years. Now, man, it's like 1 year. If they had a year, they ready to retire and send them to the damn breeding shed. Man, come on, man. What kind of stuff is that?
Well, here's a fun fact. These you might be aware, and Zippy Chippy was a racehorse, but he never won a single race. He's the only racehorse in history. In his 100 races, he came close a few times, but he just never understood why all the other horses were in such a rush. I don't know how they knew that. But, man, do you know what the odds was if you saw Zippy Chippy on there and you was looking to bet? Boy, I'd have put $10 on Zippy Chippy. It's like playing the lotto.
Hey,
Chippy.
Zippy Chippy.
He's got to win. He's got to win sooner or later.
All kinds of good, man.
That'd be a great movie.
I remember going to Arlington, and that's sad that they didn't tour the park there, because that's like
best.
That's like Arlington was the first track. It was the first track to have $1 million race.
Yeah,
it was the first U.S. American track to have $1 million race, and it was on the grass, turf racing. They used to attract all the horses from overseas would come here just for the Arlington Million. I was there when John Henry won the Million in '84 as a kid.
To your point, that's a good opportunity, and I don't know, something was mismanaged at Arlington, because I feel like
Duchess Wild. He got,
because I feel like as a family, my family should be like, yeah, we're going to see the race. We're taking the kids to see the races. I mean, if nothing else,
Arlington is one of the most prettiest tracks in the country. It wasn't a B track. Over the years, it started to slightly go to a B track.
Yeah, they mismanaged.
But it wasn't, because you had a great dirt racing. And
so you're saying the best horses and riders used to come through Arlington, same way the best singers and performers come to Chicago.
Man, I can start naming jockeys and everything who used to ride at Arlington before they got on in maybe New York or California.
I wonder why they didn't make that a landmark. They just tore that down. I mean, it just don't care.
It's too late.
But the owner,
I mean,
Arlington,
they didn't tear down the Forum when they built the new football stadium.
You want to know what happened to Arlington? The
Yeah.
owner for years wanted slot machines. He couldn't compete with when they started the casinos. They kept saying no. They kept saying no. So what did he do to keep from going out of business? He sold it to Churchill Downs Incorporated, who owns Churchill Downs where the Derby is. They own quite a few tracks, right? So they start owning Arlington. So what happens? We finally get where you can have slots and stuff at certain venues, right?
The what do you call them? The riverboats and all that.
Yeah, these guys, they're like, hey, you guys been wanting it? Here's your chance. Here, you can get these slots at the track. They didn't want to do it because they didn't like the taxes that the state was going to be taking from that money, right?
You're like, man, you're gonna make money, man.
So they started making all these excuses, and the state wasn't playing though. They was like, look here.
Do you think the off track? Do you think the off track betting hurt them too? Because you used to have to go to the track to place your bets back in the day.
No, because it just gave you more satellite places to go bet and not have to be there. Because even
that's what I'm saying.
No, it didn't. You made more money because it's nothing like when you actually go to the track. Because I give you this example. You're sitting there at a screen watching races, and then you're looking at 7, 8, 9 different tracks, right? So as a horse player, it's hard to focus in on what tracks you want to focus in on to try to win, right? When you're at the track, there's shit you see at the track that you can't see on the TV screen. When you go in a post parade and you look, and you're looking at the horse on the track, you're like, that motherfucker can't beat this horse. You're just looking at him, and you know it. But
that horse I was talking about sitting out there, Zippy Chippy sitting there pooping diarrhea.
You look at a program and you can't tell that. All you seeing is numbers on a program, but you get at the track and you can look, and sometimes you can see if they look kind of sore, some of everything. So no, it's no experience like the track. But no, the off track didn't hurt. It helped. But that's what happened. Arlington,
go ahead and give us your final words, Diesel. Then I'm gonna throw it to Ace.
So I ended with like, hey, sad to see Arlington go as a part of history. Most people from the area that they love horse racing, they're sad to see it go. But hey, that's what happens. And then if you can see on my hat, if you can see on the back right here, I don't know if you can see it. What side?
Yeah, I see it right there. Right there. Leave it. Oh, turn right there. We can see it. Move your hand.
Pookie.
But that's my DJ name, which is based off my favorite jockey of all time. So
say the
that's
DJ
just how
name
much. E Prado. Yeah. E Prado. Based off of Edgar Prado, my favorite jockey all time, over 7,000 wins.
Look at that. He's not even foundationally black. And
he ain't got to be. He ain't got to be. That's my favorite jockey. He ain't a racist. I ain't a racist.
You spend 20 minutes on this show. It's your final words. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, you stand down.
Talking about how the Latinos are replacing us. And now your favorite one is.
No, it's just, that's what it is. You can't, unless something happens where you develop a thing where you can get more African Americans into riding when they're young, and then some eventually want to keep on riding. It's just not going to happen. So,
no, absolutely, man, absolutely. I'm just having fun. Go ahead.
No, I know. But no, that's pretty much all I got. I still love the sport. It's changed over the years, but so has everything else for the most part. But hopefully, some way. That's what I'm gonna.
The Chicago Public High School should start a racing program. You imagine how ghetto that is, and they should run around Gately Stadium. That's where you do the race.
I can tell you this, and this was about 10 to 15 years ago, when some of my friends were looking into owning horses, and we looked up like what's the average cost to have a horse in your stable year round to feed them and everything.
It's affordable.
It was like 18,000 to 20,000. That was like
it's affordable.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
And like I said, you will make, whether your horses run professionally or just for show to have on a farm, you will make that money back if you allow the public to come and see your.
I'll tell you this, I'd rather own a horse than a boat. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if I'm gonna flush money down the toilet, you know. All right, good final words. Go ahead, Ace. Let's hear from you there, fella.
Well, definitely in Chicago, make more sense to own a horse than a boat because you're getting 2 months out of a boat and a year worth of slip fees and blah blah blah.
Oh shit!
But it's terrible to hear that along with baseball, the institutional racism that has eliminated black horse riding, jockeys, ownership, and it's another facet of this world, the sports world, this political sports world.
Reparations now.
Yeah, has been controlled by institutional racism. You have 13 of the 15 jockeys at the Kentucky Derby are of melanated descent.
At the first Kentucky Derby in 1875.
Go from 13 to 15 to none till 2000.
25% of your cowboys were African American, and that number was actually higher. And we invented the rodeo and steer wrestling.
Yeah, so it just goes along with something has to be done. I was thinking again last night about the Negro leagues of baseball. I saw another player that was of my son's era coming back. He came through my job the other day.
What was his name? Zippy Chippy?
No, his name wasn't Zippy Chippy, and I'm not going to release his name. But he was asking about something about his driving record, and I was like, "Hey, you play baseball?" He's like, "Yeah, I used to play baseball." And this kid's 27, 28 years old, man, and was a good player.
Mm-hmm.
But they run into the position where, how long are they going to chase this dream of playing professional baseball? Making $30,000 or $40,000 a year. Most of these kids got degrees. They go get a job, get a house, take care of their family, as opposed to hopefully making it to the majors.
And their parents might not own multiple properties, and
right.
You know what I mean, due to the red line, right?
Yeah. So it seems like it's the same thing in horse racing. Since you don't have a seat at the table of ownership, just like in baseball, your opportunities are limited, your chances are limited, and those with the goal, we got to make some rules, and we got to start taking over ownership of these sports franchises, whether it's greyhound racing, horse racing, baseball, bring the Negro leagues back, challenge the NFL. We got to challenge the status quo, and that's my final word.
Yeah, I mean, I concur with that 100%. Both you gentlemen pretty much, added all I had to add. Just holistically, whether we're, breeding or ownership, making profit, which makes the world go round, this world go round. But even if not just for that, just for holistic and healing and having a different experience for those in our communities, the horses would be great. I know 12 uses horses to create community relationships with the youths before they become teens and start gathering in places, and those same horses are out beating the crap out of them. But that being said, I think maybe that has something to do with it. The fact that we were pink balled, the fact that the overseer being on horses, the fact of 12 being on horses, the association that we have with German shepherds and dogs and horses that many of us have has been negative. But, we need to heal from that. So that's all for today's episode of Mouthpiece Included. I truly hope you enjoyed our analysis of the blacks and horse racing. If you did enjoy this episode, please subscribe, like, and share on your favorite platform. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to drop a comment below. And until then, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. So next week, you guys, we're going to be covering the NBA, tanking for Caleb. Is that the NFL? NFL. Yeah, I said TBA, my bad. I meant to say, but no, it's a typo. Yes, but NFL, tanking for Caleb. I know Diesel came on the show last year, was saying teams would be tanking for those guys that were drafted. But you got Caleb. I don't think you were sure if Williams was coming out, but he's coming out now. So we're going to break down that prospect and which teams may be in alignment to get Caleb Williams. And then next up on the Self-Love Show, coming up in about 25 minutes, reincarnation, Ace. Do we respond to a new dawn? Yeah. Is it optional? Do we have a choice? That's what we're covering. The Self-Love Show. So,
hey,
go ahead, Phil.
I wanted to ask something real quick, because you know how we're talking about with the from baseball and horse racing, you know, with blacks and everything.
Yeah.
So somebody I worked with throughout all these years, and I ain't gonna say the guy's name, but he was in the he was in a major league team in their farm system, right?
You guys not going to say anybody's name. Yeah, I got somebody. I'm not going to say.
I'm going to give you an example though.
All right, go ahead.
His first, and he had a black name, right? He changed his name to sound Latin, and it ended up helping him where he was able to make a full career in the minors, basically, and he gets his pension and everything. But so I'll give you an example. Let's say that your first name was let's say Lewis.
Derek
right?
Jackson.
Okay, say Derek Jackson, right? And you change your name to Derek Alito or something.
Right, Derrico Jacksonis or something. Yeah,
something like that to sound. And that's what he did, and it paid off. But that's how they see, that's how they see things from that perspective.
They do it in Hollywood. If you call yourself a Jewish name or something like that, that'll get you in the door. And yeah.
And my friend said, no doubt in his mind, he would have not been able to retire to play the certain amount of years if he hadn't changed his name. And he said because he changed his name, he was able to do it and be able to get a pension and everything. I was like, damn. I was like, is that bad? He's like, yes.
That's crazy. All right, y'all. So, hey, check it out. You find yourself sliding through the south side of Chicago. You might be over east or Inglewood. Might even be out west, over on Laramie.
Bud Billiken.
Yeah. Young Bud Billiken parade on 31st. On King Drive. Might be in LA, out here on the West Coast. Yes, sir. In South Central. Compton, Long Beach, Inglewood. Better have your head on a swivel.
Mouthpiece included.
Check your blind spot.
Better guard your grill.
Check your six. Watch your back.
Mouthpiece included.
Guard your grill. Knuckle up.
Mouthpiece included.
And don't forget to.
Yeah, baby.
And don't forget to.
Yeah, baby.
And don't forget to bring your mouthpiece.
You'll be all wet.
Better guard your grill.